obviously we know the news with the whole settlement with NAR, right? So I want to kind of avoid talking about that as much and more get back to the basics with our sphere of influence, particularly the renters. Okay. The
Okay.
renters right now are frantic. They don't know how to purchase a home or how to start to purchase a home, or this whole scare tactic right now that's going on. They're probably even more backing out of purchasing a home right now, right? Or even starting the process. So this week, what I did was, and I thought about this during the week, is everyone's focusing on that and trying to figure out the ins and outs of the buyer's brokerage agreement and good stuff. However, what I think we need to start focusing on, especially in our sphere of people that are currently renting or leasing a property, let's focus on having a live in-person event or via Zoom, kind of like we have here, right? But in this situation, we're going to bring up 5 myths for about FHA first-time home buyers, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a loan officer that I know that's going to put this on either via Zoom or in person. I'm going to offer either lunch, breakfast, or dinner and invite the renters or people that are leasing homes to this event, either on Zoom or in person. And I'm going to have my LO that I trust to go over the 5 myths of first time home buyers, right? That's going to be the first portion of that meeting. Is that we're going to go over and discuss the 5 myths of first time home buyers, or the things on where your credit needs to be. What's the minimum credit score needs to be, the FICO? What is the down payment amount that's needed for FHA? Now I'm bringing all these renters that could be buyers in the future or may just be interested and not ready to buy right now, right? I'm bringing them together in one location, either it's in person or on Zoom, right? And I'm having a licensed professional, a loan officer, explain to them about first-time home buyer programs, right? That's going to be the first portion of the meeting. Then we're going to eat, or then we're gonna break, or then we're gonna answer questions. If it's on Zoom, we're gonna answer questions after that LO finishes explaining. Next, I'm gonna explain basically buyer's presentation, what value I bring as a buyer representative, right? As representing them as a buyer. What things that we're going to look for in our first time purchasing a home? What things we're going to go over in the contract? What things we're going to look for in the home, right? Now, I'm going to provide all this information without even mentioning NAR or the lawsuit. Okay. I'm just going to go through my buyer's presentation, and I'm going to go over the buyer's brokerage agreement too. Not mention anything about NAR, go over that, show my value, what I'm going to add to them, provide to them, right? And then what I'm going to do next is make sure that I schedule a meeting with them afterwards, right? Now, if you're live and in person, your LOs will appreciate this, because if you're bringing in soon to be homeowners, that's an opportunity for your LO to make some type of income from that event. Now, your LO may be willing to sponsor it, depending on what state you're in and if it's allowed. They may be able to sponsor it, may be able to have a title rep come in and sponsor it, but have your LO there to provide that information. Now, if it's live in person during that break, these renters or soon to be homeowners can now meet with the soon to be homeowners or renters, meet with them at the break time and go over possibly giving them a pre-approval right then and there, how much they, or give them a scenario of how much they're pre-approved for right now, right then and there. I know my LO right now, in less than 20 minutes, he could give them a scenario of how much they're pre-approved for if they're giving, them the right information. But he can give them an estimate of how much they're able to purchase right now, and if they will be pre-approved, right? He can give them a live in-person pre-approval right then and there. Your LOs will appreciate it. Now that LO can now share with me, hey, Robert is pre-approved for X amount of dollars. They're good to go. Here's their pre-approval letter, pre-approval, right? Now I can take that, schedule a call with Robert or Tim or John or Mary or whoever else. I can schedule a call after this live and in-person meeting or this Zoom meeting. I can schedule a call at the end. So this is a perfect Q&A, live lunch and learn. I'm not, well, yeah, lunch and learn or breakfast and learn or dinner and learn. But this is a perfect situation to bring your sphere together of renters to say, hey, here's 5 myths about first-time home buyers, right? Or first-time purchases. Now, you also have the opportunity now to reach out to your past buyers that which are now sellers to actually pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, John, who do you know that's looking to purchase a home that's currently renting? I have a great event coming up on X date. I'm going to have a actual licensed loan officer there, and he's going to provide knowledge and information on why they should become a homeowner, right? Better yet, John, let me send you the flyer invite. Do you mind? Sure, Lauren, send it to me. Perfect. By the way, how's family? How's everything going in your life? And you may have the opportunity to find out from your past buyer if they're going to become a seller pretty soon. Hey, Lawrence, I actually been meaning to contact you and reach out. I'm thinking about making a move myself. Are there any other opportunities as far as if we keep this home and not sell? Are there any opportunities to buy a secondary home? Am I able to pull out any money out of my property to use for a down payment? There's different opportunities for you to take from that call from your past buyers, your current homeowners, and they can invite any of their colleagues, anyone that they work with, their inner circle, pass this around the office. Tell us if you have anyone that you know of that's currently leasing that is itching to buy. I don't care if they're working with another agent, right? I want to get them to my event, so now I can provide that value, go over the buyer's broker's agreement, show them the value that I offer. Maybe they don't have a buyer's broker agreement signed with their current realtor. Maybe they're not happy with their current realtor, right? Now, if I had this live and in person or on Zoom, meeting with them and explaining my value, they're going to schedule a call with me. I'm already going over the buyer's brokerage agreement, so they know they're going to sign that because that's part of my business, right? So I'm already getting that out in the open and clear. I'm not mentioning anything about lawsuits or anything like that. I'm just going over the buyer brokerage agreement, the value I bring, and how to start looking for homes and strategic, ways of finding their first home to purchase, and letting them know it's not going to be a home run on the first hit of being their dream home, right? It's their first home, not their dream home. So that's the idea that I have for this week, to reach out to your sphere, your current renters that you may have in your sphere, your past buyers that are currently homeowners. It's a good opportunity to reach out to them, pick up the phone, see how they're doing, but let them know, hey, invite anyone you know, any of your colleagues, your cousins, your mother, your uncle, anyone that you know that may be looking to purchase their first home, bring them out to the event or show up to the Zoom event, right? This is a good opportunity right now while everyone's in panic mode. Get in contact with your sphere, your renters and your current homeowners. Get in contact with them. Reach out to see if they know anything or they know anyone that may be looking to purchase or having a rough time trying to figure out how to get started on purchasing. Get your LO lined up. Get your LO lined up. Your loan officer. Get them lined up. And then what you can do is, 1 second, I got to mute. See. But this is a perfect opportunity to get started. So that's my idea for this week. Live Q&A for current renters that's looking to purchase or thinking about purchasing. They don't have any information on it. They just want to know, hey, how do I get started? I'm not ready yet. Or yes, I'm ready. I'm working with a realtor, but it's not great. This is a perfect opportunity for you as a realtor to show value in what you bring to that particular soon-to-be buyer, right? And then also your past buyers, your part of your sphere. It's a good opportunity to call them and actually pick the phone and reach out to them and let them know you're still there, right? They already know that you're still there. You're sending them birthday texts, that you're sending them home anniversaries. You're following up with them on HELOCs that we I think we covered 2 weeks ago. You're following up with them about putting your home in a trust. Now gives you another opportunity to pick up that phone, talk to them, and tell them, "Hey, I'm putting on this event for first-time homeowners or first-time buyers." Right? Invite anyone you know. Here's the I'm going to send you an email. Here's the flyer, QR code, all that good stuff is going to be on there. If you would be so great to pass that around for me, that'd be awesome. Oh, and by the way, I know you gave me a Google review in the past. How about if you could do me a huge favor and provide me with a Google local review, right? Google's local service ads. How about that? Here's my QR code for that as well, right? They know you, they know the value you bring, and this is going to be a continuous thing for you to follow up with and come up with every single month, quarter, 6 months, year. You can keep doing these events. You can have your LO. If you don't want to do it live and in person, you can do it via Zoom. It's more effective in person, and you're going to probably get more leads in person. And your LO can meet with those particular renters that's thinking about purchasing or have no idea how to purchase. Your LO can meet with them individually in person during the break while they're eating, right? They can talk to them and discuss potential ways of how they can get them pre-approved right then and there. So that's my idea for this week. I'm Lawrence King, your Sphere of Influence coach. You guys got any questions? Aviance, Robert, anything at all?
I wouldn't call it a question. It's
I
more of a
wouldn't call it a
comment.
question. It's more of a comment.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, I'm getting feedback again.
Okay. I think that's Aviance. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, actually, we're kind of starting a program that's a variation of this already. We're not isolating it to just renters. We're basically having a weekly come talk to a realtor, at the same time each week that we can go ahead and do marketing on Facebook and so forth,
Okay.
where we're going to go ahead and teach for about 10 to 15 minutes a subject each week, just to make it short and simple so that people can get questions, hear what other people's questions are, and then we go ahead and market that to our SOI, regular people, whatever. But since we're also doing it on Facebook and Instagram marketing, then to be able to come to it, you have to register. And that's when we're getting their information so that they can get activated, get the email that says where they're going to meet. And
so are you guys meeting in person or are you guys doing it on Zoom?
No, it's gonna be Zoom every time.
Every time. Okay. So what Robert's doing is you're pretty much hosting every single week a live Zoom meeting or live webinar to go over different or answer. Basically, is it a Q&A or are you just going over different topics?
It begins as a little tiny, just a little teaching thing, just to kind of give people an introduction to some stuff, and then it'll be Q&A. So we're trying to keep it saying that we're looking for 30 minutes plus. We don't want to necessarily have people devote to an hour if they don't need to, because if it's a half an hour, it's easier for them to commit to.
Yep.
But we'll go ahead and let it go as long as it needs to, so that everybody kind of gets taken care of, and that gets us a lot more interaction with all the people, especially the ones that we don't know.
That's actually a great idea. That's a great idea, and you just all right. So you're doing it once a week, or you're doing it twice a week?
Once a week.
Once a week. Okay.
On a regular schedule, but to come, you have to sign up so that you can get the emails that tell you what the schedules are and what the Zoom links are.
That's a great idea. I think that's a really good idea. Now, are you just meeting with? Are they just meeting with you, or are you having people on there to go over different topics?
It really depends on what the subject's going to be that week.
Okay.
If we're doing things with loans, obviously we'd bring a loan officer.
Right.
There are things that people have title questions like, why, I don't get why I have to pay for title insurance when I'm buying somebody's house. Isn't it their responsibility? Well, Congratulations, we have a title officer. I can explain it to you. It's probably going to be more credible coming from them. So we'll have a title officer explain it. Even though I can, it also kind of shares the distribution and gets the attention around to other people. And then, that gets the people, give it more credibility with that.
100%.
Um,
I agree with that, and that's a great. Now, you're making it free to the
yeah, it's free. And
okay.
even if you have an agent, I still want you to come. I
Okay.
can't represent you. That's fine. I get that. But, that way they can sit and see maybe on this transaction they're using somebody else, but if they really understand that we know what we're talking about, for my transaction after that, I kind of want to use Robert. He really seems to know what's going on and he's keeping me informed of everything, making sure I understand the process.
Right. Now, how does the buyer's brokers agreement work in Utah where you're located?
Yeah, so we're different. So all the stuff that everybody's moving to is what we've been doing the entire time. It's been part of
Yep.
Utah law for the last 50 whatever years.
Okay.
The only thing that's changing for us, assuming that this suit goes through and that the settlement is agreed upon, the only real thing that's changing for us is that the commissions will no longer be on the MLS.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think it's just changed for everyone at this point, and I think in every state. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you haven't been using the buyer's brokers agreement, I only really
We, we've
use.
all we've always been using them.
So okay, so you guys are
Yes,
used to it.
that's what I'm saying. That's been part of our law for at least 50 years. That is normal for us. So nothing's changing for us,
Okay.
except that you can't put the commission on the MLS.
Got it.
And we've not had a problem with it. It's you know, people keep trying to all the agents keep trying to look at, well, the seller pays commission or the buyer pays commission. It's like, you know, you could probably look at it more like it's just the commission cost of the transaction.
Yeah.
And the way I also talk to my clients, I try and even though it's commission as far as the paperwork is concerned, the way I kind of convey it to them is like, look, it's really a success fee. Okay. Unlike anyone else, it's like whether you're going to an attorney, to having somebody come in and do your flooring, you're going to pay them no matter what. I only get paid if I succeed. If you pull out, I don't get paid. If you get done and bored, I don't get paid. If you lose your job, I don't get paid.
Yep.
Any situation, I only get paid if I succeed in getting you a home. So I convey it as a success fee, not a commission to my clients.
That's a good idea.
So
That's a very good idea, and especially if you can get the home that they really like, and you can negotiate that. You know, your
mhm.
client's not going to be able to negotiate like you can, right? They're not
Oh,
going to.
absolutely not.
They're not going to know the ins and outs. So that's the value you bring. So
Yeah.
that's what I was kind of referring to is going over that. That success. I like that. That's a good way to put it right
Mhm.
to your buyer.
That's really what it is because we only
Yeah,
get paid if we succeed.
right.
We
You
don't get paid
100% right.
otherwise. Unlike an attorney, we don't take a down payment. We don't take a retainer.
Retainer fee.
We don't do anything like that.
Right, right.
So
And
people
I
are,
only get paid when we're successfully closed.
yeah. And
And
so a lot of people who think that we're overpaid, what they don't understand is, for the one person who closes a transaction, we're often doing the work for 20 or 30 or 40 people who don't. We are
right,
still putting all that workload in to everyone.
right.
And you don't know how difficult your transaction is going to be. You have no idea. Well, that's not true. You think you have an idea, but you don't know until something goes wrong.
Exactly.
And a lot of times when people are going on it on their own, they're always coming to us after the fact of, oh man, yeah, I really screwed up. Now I'm going to lose X amount of money. How do I get out? It's like, I can't help you. You've already signed contracts. You've already signed agreements. You've kept me out of it.
Yep.
There's nothing I can do for you. I feel sorry for you. I feel bad you're going to lose $50,000, but I can't help you anymore. You needed to
100%,
talk to
man.
me before you signed those papers so we could figure out what it is that we can actually do and why it matters.
Let me ask you
Um,
this, Robert.
mhm.
Have you gone like? Let me show you. Hold on 1 second. Have you gone like right here? First time home buyer. Have you gone in your local area and looked at how many events are for first time home buyers?
I haven't.
Okay. I mean, obviously you can see there's a workshop for this on quite a bit, almost every weekend,
Hmm.
as you can see. But this, so we're not the first people to come up with this idea.
Right.
However, we can have an event on Eventbrite. We can have an event on Facebook and all this stuff, and we can market and advertise. But the biggest way to get people to your event is to go to your sphere,
Right.
your past buyers, your current family members, obviously the current family members, friends, anything that anyone that's in your sphere, let everyone know. And that's how you get them to these events. You can put it on Facebook, you can put it on all social media, you can put it on Eventbrite, all that stuff, do marketing as get strangers there. But biggest thing is your sphere. I think
Mhm.
that's going to be huge for you, especially if you're doing it every week.
Yeah.
Huge.
And that's the thing is, people that way, the people who have come before are curious to see two things. One, what is it we're teaching the next week? But the other thing is they always get they always get new questions by hearing somebody else's questions.
Right.
So, oh, somebody asked this. Oh, wow, wait, that's a good point. But what about
Yeah.
this? And so now they feel like that they can actually interact with somebody who understands what's going on. And
You
so
just
we
gave
really do establish ourselves as the authority for that.
You just gave me a good idea to host that type of event in my local area. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to structure it more towards first time home buyers first, but
Mm-hmm.
then I'm gonna flip it into something else, about purchasing secondary homes or investment properties. And that's actually what I'm going to get into next week. But that's a great idea to do it every week, get an LO or get a trust attorney or, you know, I mean, you can go down a whole list of line of different things that people are title rep. You can get a whole bunch of people on
Mm-hmm.
and consistently do that every week. I'm not sure if that's sustainable for my business. However, someone may be able to put this on every single week. Like I'm dedicated every single week to put this on. Someone could, dedicate 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you keep it the shorter the better, perfect, because no one wants to be on for an hour anymore. Everybody
Right.
has things, life and things to do, especially if they're not in this business directly, they have other things to do.
Yeah. And that's why we say 30 minutes plus, because it's
Right.
like, we're trying to plan for 30 minutes. But if you really need to get your question answered, we're going to be here to do it.
100%. Yep. That's great, man. I appreciate this information. You gave me some good ideas, and that's what this is about: masterminding,
Mm-hmm.
spitballing. I come with like a certain topic every week, and then if you got any ideas that you can put into to everyone and let everyone know, this, like I said, you just gave me an idea right now, something that I didn't think about. So, we're going to do this every week. We're going to bring different ideas up every week. Robert, thank you for joining.
Very
If you have any
welcome.
questions or anything, you have my contact information. Reach out.